My part of the presentation is going to be about grant proposal writing, okay? I'm not sure how many people in the audience will make use of this immediately, but I know that most people will probably make use of it in the long term, okay? So I'm going to start with an exercise just to gauge, just to find out how much you are aware of. What is the vocabulary that we use in this field? Okay, when I start talking and presenting what a grant proposal is and how it is done, I'm going to be using certain terms. I want to make sure that you are aware of what these terms mean. Let's do this together then, okay? So let's begin with the word grant. Okay, I'm going to begin with that one instead of going down the list. Which one would be the grant? What is a grant? Yes, this is good, excellent. This is the award of financial assistance. So when we are talking about a grant proposal, we are talking about a proposal that requests an award for financial assistance. Requests funding, money, to support something, okay? So let's go down the list quickly, okay? The first one says this is a request for support of sponsored research or instruction or extension projects. So this is the proposal. You're absolutely right, okay? And Dr. Huda Grant worked with the definition of the word proposal, okay? And she said a proposal is, what is it? It's an idea that you put forward with an expectation of something in return, okay? When you're writing a research proposal, you're expecting permission to do the research. That's the definition she gave, okay? When you're writing a grant proposal, you are expecting something in return. I have a good idea, and I'm sharing it with you because I expect something in return. And that something is, in this case, money. Yeah, I'm expecting some financial support for this good idea. Hence, we have the term, the grant proposal. Okay, and today we're going to take a look at what does the grant proposal expect and how can you write it, okay, and what are some of the regulations or some of the guidelines that we can use to develop it. The next definition is, this is the individual conducting the research, the main scientist or explorer for the project, the person who is putting forward the request. What do we call this person? I'm sorry? The researcher. The advisor would be somebody giving you the advice, but you are doing the research. The applicant, okay? The PI, okay? So yes, it is all of those, but the word, the abbreviation PI stands for, anybody? The principal investigator. Sometimes you will just hear PI. PI stands for principal investigator. The main applicant, somebody supplied the word applicant, the main person who is applying, the main person who is putting forward the idea in the form of a research proposal. There will be other people on the research team, yeah? If it's a research team, not an individual. They will be called, what? Co-PIs, co-PIs, co-principal investigators, okay? So, the third one is, this is the signed award under which the university or the organization agrees to perform a certain scope of work. So the actual, the project, the sponsored project, yeah, okay? The sponsored project, okay? We've already answered the next one. The award for financial assistance is called a grant. If you are, some organizations will give you money, but some organizations will give you contributions other than money. In grant writing language, these are called contributions in kind. In kind. So if, for example, I apply for support and an organization, rather than giving me money, it gives me the space to use without paying rent. Or it gives me notebooks to give out, okay? Or it gives me an overhead projector. So rather than giving me cash, they're giving me contributions in kind. Okay, so this is another language that comes up when we're talking about grant proposal writing. Okay, and then the next two are kind of related. This is the entity that receives an award. Okay, once you receive, if you apply for a grant proposal and they like your idea, so they sponsor your idea, they award you, then you become a, yes, you can say a grant awardee or a grantee, okay? So a grantee is the person who receives the award. The next one is the opposite. The entity giving the grant is called the yes, you can call them the donor, the sponsor, or the opposite of grantee would be the grantor, okay? The grantor, with an O-R at the end, not an E-R. So we have the grantee and the grantor, or we pronounce it as grantor, okay? Now, if I am doing research, okay, and I have a great idea to support street children, to use the example from the narrow research question that Dr. Grant was presenting. If I'm doing a project that's going to help reintegrate street children into society, and in order for me to carry out that project, I need funding, so I apply, I receive the award, I am the grantee, and the street children are the people who are going to benefit. They are called, oh, thank you. They are called, who's saying that? Beneficiaries. They are called the beneficiaries. So the people who will directly benefit from the impact of my project, they're called beneficiaries, okay? And finally, the last one is not that important now. This is the signature of a person legally responsible for making agreements on behalf of an organization. So when you get awarded a grant, okay, you will sign a grant agreement. The person who signs has authorization to sign. The person who has authorization, this is the word to fill in the blank at the end, to sign, becomes legally responsible for spending the grant money.